don't even know if that's the right output, even if they do get the stream started.
It was marked key motion capture or something like that, so I think it is the right. It should be the right.
No, I mean like our output on the soundboard.
Oh.
Find out when they find the stream, we're going to find out. You know?
Well, yeah, but we're gonna find out.
I sent them a DM and they haven't even seen it yet.
At least one player can score. I'll just Facebook Live it from our Facebook for all I care. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. He said we got sound, so.
No video, though.
I asked her to give a sound check us to make sure we're in the right output. So at least we got that.
Yeah, that's good news.
That's a good start. Now, getting an actual stream. I really like both teams' uniforms here this evening. They're very crisp. All right, so most of these are pretty easy. Accuracy, Bowie, Burns, Casorso, Chesson, Detondo, Donahue, Edney, Aaliyah. Greco, Jones, Kunachika, Levier, Lewicki, Murphy, Newman, Ott, Parsons, Skamura, Shroka, Shareb, Sibley, and Vin. Okay, not bad. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Harbor Center downtown Buffalo, New York. We are just seconds away from kicking off the 2017 MWHL preseason as the Buffalo Beauts play host here to Team China in the opener here this season. Very excited to be back here with Eric Walschlager, Justin Eric. My name is Jeff Boyd. Eric, it's great to be back at the rink. It's great to be back for Beauts action.
There's so much happening today that I literally cannot control myself. I've been counting down to this moment for quite some time, and then we got some incredible news that former CWHL and NWHL forward Rachel Lanes is going to join Team China in their bid for an Olympic debut in 2022. So, I mean, the storylines run thick here. This should be a lot of fun.
Lanes will be skating for Team China today. She'll be wearing number 30 in those red uniforms. Team China wearing red with gold, skating from right to left on your broadcast feed. The Buffalo Beauts in some fresh new powder blue with some white and some gray in there, skating from left to right. Your starting goaltenders today for Buffalo, it is Kelsey Newman getting the start here. She'll be wearing number 31 for Team China. It is Si Yi Hu, number 1, who will be starting in goal for the visiting side. The Buffalo Beauts title defense begins here tonight before their regular season. Last year was about chasing the crown. This year, it's about defending it.
Yeah, it's, talked about it a little bit at Media Day, and Rick Sealing says that the team is definitely prepared for the target that's on their back. They think it'll work to their advantage to have that extra pressure.
Face-off won ahead by Rachel Lanes, chasing after it. Jackie Greco there, along with Sarah Edney in the corner for the Beauts. That shot fired through from her point position there by Bleo. Knocked down, kept in there. Fine. Walking around Team China, setting up here well early on. Good opening shift. Rachel Lanes through traffic. Her shot blocked down. That one stung. They're off the leg of a sliding Rebecca Vitt. Beauts get it back out to center ice, and Team China forced back to their own blue end to recollect. Thrown in front of the Buffalo bench. They're changing Sarah Casorso off the bench. Lifted stick of her intended target, trying to throw that pass ahead to Aaliyah. Long up ahead. Lost in a sea of bodies. Courtney Kunishika for Buffalo got a piece of it. Deflects all the way down. Icing waved off. Sarah Casorso back for Buffalo. Starting with it. She's back with Jordan Burns. Gets it across there to Burns, and they play catch. Her pass deflected out to the blue line. Knocked back in front of Newman. And slowed down there behind her own goal now. Jordan Burns. Far side pass tipped ahead by Skamura. Out to neutral ice and swept back there by Zhu. One more time, Burns defending her own blue line up ahead. Courtney Kunishika scoops it into the China zone. Pokes it with one hand in behind the goal. Jostles for it there. Comes loose here near side. And Team China will recollect back the other way. Kong's pass ahead deflected. Taken back at center ice. High. And she was poke checked there. Kayla Parsons now for Buffalo. Kersey tried to drag it through and had her stick lifted. Both teams defensively holding their own blue lines very well here in the opening couple of minutes of action. Neither side has had a shot on goal here, being kept well to the outside. Buffalo's defense have a lot of new faces that we'll talk about here throughout the course of the evening. There's Kayla Parsons getting in a big collision in the corner. That pass deflected, looking for a Kersey there, tipped off the stick of Ott. Pelly chasing after it there as well for Team China. And Team China there on their own end will recollect. Stretch pass out of the reach of Rachel Lanes. Now Kersey on her backhand trying to bat it in. Had it taken away there by Wong. Back ahead to Lanes. Leaves it there for Wu. And taken away back now by the Beauts. Jackie Greco. Looking for a Kersey. That one out of her reach is going to go all the way down. Referee's arm is up, and that will be an icing call against the Buffalo Beauts. We'll have the face-off there. 17:32 still to go in our opening period.
So lost in all the excitement of the news that came out of Team China today, we also have the debut of Jess Jones, last year's leading scorer in the CWHL and now a Buffalo Beaut. We're definitely looking forward to calling her name several times over the course of the season.
Yeah, the Beauts went into the offseason. They lost some names that you'll recognize from their championship team last season, but they went out and they retooled. And Jess Jones is a name that you figure to hear a lot this season. As the Buffalo Beauts move into the 2017-18 campaign. There's Jackie Greco. In front pass, shot fired through. Off the stick of Kristen Lewicki, and a save is made there by Hu. Holds on for a faceoff.
Nice heads-up play by Greco to draw the defense down low behind the net. Lewicki was all alone out front, and unfortunately for Buffalo, Wu was on top of it.
It was a great pass there Jackie Greco listed officially as a defenseman today, but she played a lot of forward last season. She'll play both if time allows throughout the course of the year. Really a good two-way player. Keeping the pressure on now. The Beauts in behind the Team China goal. Turning with it there. That's Shurub. Shiroka in behind the goal. Jostled there. Fires it back. Shurub has it one more time. Taken out there along the wall. It's Jessica Wong for Team China looking. The head pass gets it out of the zone. Rachel Lanes gets it back to Wong. Stretch pass the other way to Wu. Wu turns and fires one on just wide glove side of Kelsey Newman. Shiroka. Back the other way. Floats that one into the corner. Goes off to complete her change. There's Team China back behind their own goal. Will look to recollect. That pass airmailed out to center ice and slowing it down in front of her own bench. There is Conley Murphy. Air pass is taken away. Turned and fired on by Fung, and a save is made by Kelsey Newman. Saw it all the way.
Yeah, a blind drop pass in the slot. You might not want to make a habit of that. And Team China jumps right on it. Thankfully, Kelsey Newman's out on top of the crease to make the glove save.
Faceoff will come to the right here of the Buffalo goal. First great chance here for Team China, just shy of 4 minutes into our opening frame. Swept behind the goal there by Murphy. Up ahead, Corinne Bowie. Her stretch pass looking through center ice, looking for Rebecca Vinton out of her reach. Chased after there by the aforementioned Jess Jones. And his top line for Buffalo looks to get set up offensively. Here's Corinne Bowie. Back-to-back Isabel Cup champion with Buffalo last year and Boston the year before. The only player in league history to say she's lifted the trophy 2 times. Here's Jones. On her backhand looking back for Bowie. Bowie able to get that puck. Take it away. Fired shot through is blocked down. A great sliding defensive play made there. And carried up to Boot. Dragged in the other way by Ju. She tried to go one more, trying to go around Edney. Had single-handedly carried the puck up the ice and had one more move to make and had it taken off her stick there at the last moment. Puck comes loose in the slot. Dangerously so. Bowie trying to slow it down as she'll scoot in behind her own goal. Corinne Bowie's pass around. Jackie Greco tries to lift it up ahead to the blue line, but not out. One more time the Beauts fight for it at the line. Swept ahead by Vince and back out to neutral ice. Zhao back the other way now for Team China. They cut in wide. Good, aggressive play there offensively, but they're playing 2-on-4 as their team completes a change. And the Beauts will take it back the other way. Here's Courtney Kunachika. Pass on the far side. Skamura lost the handle on it, floats it in front of the goal. Kelly slows it down, plays it on her backhand around to Wu. Jostled there by Skamura, had it taken off her stick. Kunachika sweeps it on the far side. And just unable to be handled there by Aaliyah. And Team China takes it back the other way. Kicked as far as the Buffalo blue line. Sarah Casorso back to Burns. Casorso. First stretch pass taken here by Aaliyah. Aaliyah shot through high. Riser goes wide of goal. Swept and kept in at the blue line. Poked into the corner. The Beauts go off for a change. Kelly's stretch pass ahead out of the reach of everyone. Icing waved off. Must have been deflected there on the far side by Wong. And Murphy in behind the Buffalo goal. Switching sides up here near side. Sibley's pass is deflected. Kept in. Great back check though. That's Jordan not there on the far side. Takes it away. Back the other way, and she has it taken away now as a Kersey trying to drag it through, having some difficulty there at the blue line. Both teams defensively very sound here early on. Very limited chances. Caleb Parsons jostling there with Leo behind the play and takes it away for Buffalo. That one caught off maybe the far side linesman. Kept in by Team China. Dragged around and taken back the other way. 2-on-2 for Ott and Kersey for Buffalo. Kersey tried to drag it through center ice. Knocks it in front of goal looking back for Ott. And they just couldn't quite connect. Kersey sweeps it back to the point. Edney's shot fired and blocked down. Team China's forwards doing a good job here contesting these point shots. They have numbers back the other way trying to catch Buffalo in a change. And the collision at the blue line actually forced the Team China player Fung off sides. And we'll have a face-off here back in neutral ice just shy of 7 minutes gone here in the opening period.
Both teams have looked pretty good here in the early going. China maybe has a little bit more of the zone time, whereas Buffalo has had the better chances. This has been a great game, and it's interesting to see a lot of the players at China are standing at the edge of the bench. They're really excited to be on the ice today, I feel.
This team continues their traveling of the world here. And they come in here to Buffalo here tonight to open up the NWHL preseason. Scoreless and 12:45 and counting to go here in our opening period. Jostled on the half wall, kept in over there. Fired through by Edney and blocked down again. A couple players collide. And Team China able to use that momentum there, get out of the zone. Greco's pass ahead, scooped up. On her backhand, turned and fired in by Schroka. Kelly up ahead. Her stretch pass goes around the boards all the way down. It will slow down, though, short of icing. Picked up on Casorso, who scoots it up ahead. Sarah Casorso drags it through center ice. Casorso turns and fires a low shot. Gloved down by Who, able to hold on for a whistle.
Yeah, with Buffalo's new offensive firepower that they picked up through the season, sometimes it's hard to remember that they have defensemen like Casorso who are very comfortable joining the play, and of course that was one of Buffalo's better opportunities in the game so far. So
we talked about Jackie Greco being a two-way player. Sarah Casorso had that designation last season. She played a couple games at forward for the Beauts last season. And here today on their second wave, here comes Team China quickly back the other way. Lane sleeps it in front. Backhand chance in front. They score. A spinorama backhand pass by Rachel Lanes finds Jessica Wong in front. And some traffic in front of Kelsey Newman. Team China converts first. They are up 1-0.
That was a nice play with all three players crashing the net and just kind of overpowering the Beauts on their way there. You know, they were facing forward, the Beauts were facing backward, and Newman didn't have the pedal down over the 5-hole. It sneaks right between the pads.
So a good early start there. Team China really having some struggles. They're finding their passing through the neutral zone, but a good rush there as the visitors up here 1-0 early on. Just over 8 minutes into our first period here at Harbor Center. Beauts will look for an answer. They got their top line out here now. There's Corin Bowie. Turns and fires. Play is just on sides. Been able to toe the line. Jess Jones there on the far side. Leaves it behind Kayla Parsons looking back for Bowie in the slot. And they just misconnected. Poked up ahead by Murphy. In back behind of goal. Jostle for on the side of the net. Referee didn't have it there for a second. And some shoving after the play. As it's covered up there by Who for a face-off.
Yeah, it's not surprising to see Jess Jones down there involved in a little extracurricular activity. Brampton, her former team, led the CWHL in minutes last year, and they're known for their feisty play, and bringing Edney, Vint, and Jones here definitely brings some of that and adds that as a dimension to the Buffalo attack.
Buffalo has a long and storied history of not being afraid of jostling with other teams, inspired by former Butte Kelly Stedman in number seasons, and now we'll see if that Brampton energy being brought down by Jones and Vint can carry over as well. Kunachika turns and fires that one, kept into the point. That shot blocked down nicely by Haley Skamura into the corner. Fired through from the point. That one goes wide of goal. Kept in one more time and fired down there by Jude. Into the corner, turning with it there. That was Kong, whose pass was intercepted. Now quickly back the other way. Here comes Skamura with numbers for the Beauts. Haley Skamura fires in front of goal, looking for the tip play wide of everyone and all the way back to neutral ice. Picked up by Jackie Greco, back to Kunachika. She's poke checked there nicely. That was Zhu off the bench for Team China doing so. She'll pick up that pass, skates it back ahead the other way. But Shing back the other way. She fires that one over the crossbar in behind the Buffalo goal. Zhu's pass back to Shing, deflects it in front of goal. Ultimately wide of everyone and picked up here on the half wall by Courtney Kunachika. Jackie Greco. Pass lost in the equipment of its intended target, Sarah Edney. Forced back in behind the goal. A good, strong play on her stick there to win it up ahead, but taken right back the other way by Wen. One more time, the Beauts will look to start the other way. Edney. Getting some time here on her pairing today with Jackie Greco. That one touched by Kunachika, but Kunachika well short of icing line. Goes all the way down just barely. And Kelly will be down there to win the icing there for Team China. Will come all the way back down here just shy of the midway mark here of the first period.
It's interesting with as physical as this game has been, you know, the refs have really only blown the whistle a couple times for an offsides and a pair of icings. It's really kind of been a free-flowing game for the physicality.
Face-off here to the right of Kelsey Newman in goal is tied up by Lanes and won back by Team China. Zhu keeps it into the point. Buffalo battling it back the other way, losing the skates of Kunachika, able to win it up ahead and get her team trapped out there with that icing call off for some fresh legs. Ott back the other way, her stretch pass just out of the reach of its intended target. That's Sarah Casorso off the bench, now turning with it for Buffalo. Her pass intercepted at the blue line. Dangerous pass taken away by Wong. Turning with it, fires on, and Kelsey Newman having none of it, will hold on for a face-off.
That's twice now that some blind passes have gone to the middle, and that's definitely going to be something that's going to bite Buffalo throughout the season. They got to get that under control immediately.
A lot of new faces on that defense for Buffalo here this season. They'll be looking to Casorso, Greco, and Burns, who were the carryovers from this team last season, trying to backline this team. Fired down below the goal line there by Lauren Kelly in behind the goal. Taken away and fired up to the half wall. One more time swept in there by Yoon. Kong in behind the goal line, back to the half wall, kicked down by Ott. She loses her footing, and now down low to Casorso, turning with the pressure. Looking back on the far side, Ott. Head up, pass, looking for the stretch play. Read well. Carried up ahead. And now Team China takes it back the other way. That's Fang. She carries it through, turns it, and fires, and a save is made, covered up there, and held by Kelsey Newman.
That's a nice play by Fang to get Casorso to skate down low, float a little bit, and get a screen on Newman, but kind of a weak shot, whiffed on it a little bit, and Newman was able to get the paddle down and cover up for the threes.
Shots to this point 5-3 in favor of the visitors. They lead on the scoreboard as well. It's 1-0. That shot fired through, right pad save made by Kelsey Newman. Team China really ratcheting up the pressure here. They seem to be getting more and more comfortable as this period goes on. Juggled by Kelly just enough for Stroker to win it back the other way. Lewicki goes wide down below that icing line. Lewicki still with possession. Back pass down low, turning with it there. Stroker. To a side they battle in behind the Team China goal. Comes loose the other way. Rachel Lane's back pass ahead to Wong. Up ahead, Wu drags it around, fires that shot rising high, blocker side, just walked around the Beauts defender. And a great chance as Team China continues the pressure. Drag through, fire, blocker save made there. That was Wu's shot, blockered away by Kelsey Newman. Wu turns with it one more time. Backhanded away, taken now, and kept in at the point again by Team China near side. Ju lines and fires, looking for that tip play in front, poked away. And picked up now by Buffalo back the other way. That's Shura. She'll take center ice, backhands it, dumps it in as Buffalo goes off for a change. Very good last 3 to 4 minutes here for Team China. That pass long past everyone. Icing waved off. Edney back to pick it up. Miscommunication in behind the Buffalo goal. Team China's forecheck is giving them all sorts of fits here. Ran in behind the goal. She's rubbed out of the play. Kicked ahead now to Corinne Bowie. Bowie looking for Jones. Buffalo having a hard time getting set up there. Vint had a whack at it. But forced back out to center ice one more time. Here's Edney. Fires it off the glass in behind the Team China goal. Out of Wu's reach. And Jones right after it. Down low. Looking back in front. Edney with a lane. Edney shoots! And a blocker save is made by Wu. Slow down back the other way. Jessica Wong works it in 1-on-2 and had it taken off her stick there at the last minute by Aaliyah. Aliva behind the goal. Fire that one around looking for Lane's out of her reach. Casorso scoops it up ahead to Kunachika. Deflected now. Skamura chasing after it. Haley Skamura. Her pass deflected down. Picks it up. Skamura. Backhand drags it past the blue line. Skamura in behind that icing line now, looking to leave that pass in front for Aaliyah. They just missed connecting, trying to throw back to Skamura. And no such luck connecting there. Back the other way, it's a quick 2-on-1. Lanes fires, she scores!
And that's something you're going to see a lot from Rachel Lanes. You know, she did it a dozen times while she was playing with the Boston Pride here in Buffalo, and she's a sniper of just a whole nother order. And you know, get her that puck loose on the slot, and it's a goal every time. So
a beautiful move and shot by Rachel Lanes, and it is 2-0 Team China. She was kind of caught in that depth chart mess of the Boston Pride the last couple seasons, just struggling for ice time, and here she is tonight really showcasing those elite skills that she possesses. Kayla Parsons takes center ice for Buffalo and dumps it in here. We are just under 6 minutes to go here in this opening period. Murphy turns and fires that one, blockered away by Wu onto the glass. Ott turning with it in behind the icing line. Fung in there with that. And Team China again, as quickly as they're trapped in their zone, back the other way. Dragged through just out of the reach of Kong, but kept in by Team China. That one dragged through and fired high. Blocker's side. Take a bad bounce off the boards, but picked up there by Colleen Murphy. Leaves it back behind. In behind her own goal, Sibley. Floats that one out only as far as the Team China blue line, knocked right back in now. And scooped up by Kayla Parsons. Her bank pass out of Akersie's reach and taken right back the other way now by Lauren Kelly. Kelly, stretch pass, deflected up ahead. Sibley chasing back after it. She's going to get there. Sarah Edney carries it ahead. Drags it through all the way down to the other way. Stretch pass just out of the reach. Looking there for Schroka on the far side. Buffalo's defense looking to get involved here. Kept in. Lewicki's pass down low. Schroka on the backhand looking to do something with it. Tried to fire a quick backhand shot through and couldn't quite. Casorso fresh off the bench across here. Jackie Greco takes center ice and fires it right back in. Buffalo looking to keep the pressure on here. With under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Scoop down, knock down one more time now. Jordan Burns. Knocked through. Lewicki trying to split the D. Lewicki walks in and a save, the biggest one of the night mayhaps by who? As Lewicki did a great job splitting the China defense and getting herself some room to shoot.
And breaking up that play, of course, was Rachel Lanes.
Lanes has been absolutely everywhere for Team China here in this first period. Eric mentioned before the game that she'll be skating for Team China in 2022. And she's been a great asset here to their top line tonight already. Kunachika now. Passed in front, looking across. Trying to spring buoy as Buffalo changes up some lines. And they just missed connecting on the back door. Kept in and swept ahead here by Jess Jones. Down low. Kunachika behind that goal line. Looking back for Bowie, fires. Who gets the save? Rebound loose in the slump, but swept away there. A nice defensive play, and there she is again, Rachel Lanes. Talking about two-way players here tonight. Buffalo player has some assistance falling to the ice. We're going to have our first penalty of the game coming up as Newman streaks to the bench, but as soon as she gets there, the whistle blows. And Buffalo will go to the first power play of the evening.
So you mentioned getting some different looks on the Buffalo forward lines, and that's something that Craig Muni talked about a few weeks ago when I spoke with him. He said they really wanted to get Courtney Kunachika in a featured position. She's earned it, the only inaugural Beaut to still be with the team, and you know, a very talented offensive player that had to play a little bit of a different role centering between Devin Skeets and Harrison Brown. So, you know, getting her up on the line with Bowie and Jones is definitely going to open things up for her.
It's Jexing Liu for Team China who will sit for 2 or less for tripping as Buffalo's power play will go to their first test here of the preseason. Here's Casorso, turns and fires. That one blocked high off the glass. At the point, Casorso one more time will keep it. It's like having a fourth forward back there with Casorso. Up it's out. Aaliyah's pass across. Far side spinning with it there. And now down low, Murphy. Down low to Kunachika. Courtney Kunachika back to Casorso, winds and fires. Her shot deflected off a sea of legs into the corner behind the Team China goal. And they will collect and fire it all the way back out here to neutral ice. Casorso stretch pass to Kunachika. Play is on sides, but Kunachika not able to keep the handle on it. And a wise defensive play made there at her own blue line by Kong. Buffalo back one more time. Here's Aaliyah. Tied up there with Rachel Lanes. Lanes leaves it back behind for Wu in behind her goal. She'll look to get out of the zone. Floats this one off a glove and all the way back down there to Newman. Just 53 seconds and counting remaining here in this Buffalo power play. Jordan Ott's pass onto the far side. Picked up here by Burns. Scoots it up ahead. And ticked up the other way. Sibley. Her pass through center ice is intercepted and fired right back out one more time. Very calm defensive penalty kill here so far for Team China. Schroka not able to work her way through. Lanes one more time will fire it back out here to the red line. Burns on the far side. Kicked down there by Lewicki. The blue line not out, kept in there by Ott, hit the official. Still kept in one more time by Ott. Buffalo looking to set up here, just 13 seconds here yet to go on this power play. Turning with it in behind her own goal line there, that's Ju. Off a Buffalo player, kept in by Lewicki. Schroka turning with it. We're back to 5 aside.
Not a lot going there on that first Buffalo power play. And good aggressive defensive play out of the box. It's a race back the other way. Leo. She'll wind and fire one. And that one fought off by Newman. Final minute of the first period here at the Harbor Center. Team China looking to keep this 2-0 lead. Buffalo looking for something back the other way. A Kersey to Bowie, and that one taken away. One more time now, Kunachika up the far side. Taylor Kersey, full head of steam. Swept away by Leo. Picked up there by Ju in behind the play. More help from Leo. Her pass ahead looking for Ju. And gets it to her. Back the other way, 2-on-2. Ju's pass across, knocked down by Sarah Edney. Under 30 to go here, 25 and counting. Edney in behind the Buffalo goal, looking for one last rush. Corin Bowie, back to Edney. Pass ahead to the blue line, knocked in by Kunachika. But taken right back by Team China, off the glass back to neutral ice. Edney will wait for the play to get back on sides, her backhand into the zone. Under 10 seconds ago, Skamura running after it. Fought forward behind the goal, but Team China fairly content here with Lauren Kelly skating behind her own goal to work out the last couple seconds. And we have hit triple zeros here at the end of a first period at Harbor Center. Team China with a 2-0 lead here. Pretty even back and forth in turn of shots, but Team China just doing their best here, Eric, to really convert on those chances, and that's why they have that 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing here is a team who's been playing together since August, and obviously just looking down the roster, a lot of these women on this Chinese team also played together in college. So, we're seeing a team that's used to playing with each other, reading plays a little bit better than maybe the Beauts, who are still getting used to playing with each other. A little mixing up of lines in there, and not a terrible period from Buffalo. The type of thing that we want to see them avoid are those blind slot passes, because they're still new as a team. And of course, on the power play, even in the waning seconds, Ott did a very good job keeping the puck in at the blue line. But once she got it back into the zone, everybody had already cleared the zone, so there was nobody there to take advantage of it. And they're on the power play. At least two people should be in deep to gather that puck when Ott does gain control and get it back down. So I'm sure those are some things that Craig Muni and Rick Seeling are going to talk to the team about, because, you know me, I'm a really smart guy. So
20 minutes of preseason action is far too early to draw some conclusions, so let's do it anyway. If you're in that Buffalo locker room, what are you really talking about there? What is the biggest thing that you want to see here in the second period of the preseason game, the biggest change you want to see in the Buffalo team?
Well, I think Buffalo has been a little trepidatious, for lack of a better term. They really aren't, it doesn't seem to have that killer instinct. The defensemen are backing off when possession changes hands. They aren't attacking that puck right away. They're kind of letting the play come to them. And even in the forward zone, in the offensive zone, the forwards aren't necessarily attacking the puck, fighting for it in the corners. They're kind of waiting for the play to come back out. That the end of that power play was a perfect example of something like that. So I just want to see a little more tenacity out of them, and maybe a little more aggression, and not physically, but strategically.
So the Zambonis are out on the ice here at the Harbor Center. Shots through the first period were adjusted slightly, end up being 9-6 in favor of Team China officially through 20 minutes of play. We're going to take a quick break here, guys. We'll be back here with a first period recap and more second period action here. You're watching the NWHL preseason here on Cross Ice Pass.
Volume.
Yeah, I'll be in for a second.
Volume.
Welcome back, everyone, inside the Harbor Center, downtown Buffalo, New York, here on this Monday evening. Team China, through 20 minutes of play, leads the Buffalo Beauts by the score of 2-0, and we welcome back to our broadcast perch here. Jeff Boyd alongside Eric Walschlager and Justin Eric here. Gentlemen, 20 minutes of play. Pretty back and forth defensive game. Neither team really able to get going offensively, but Buffalo really struggling here to really convert offensively. What did you see there in the first 20 minutes of play as far as what the Beauts can look for here as we approach period number 2?
And you can definitely tell which teams are practicing longer together. The
Yeah.
Team China, their passing is tape to tape, and I think it's been the biggest difference so far because the Beauts have had decent possession on offense, but they're just missing the quick passing plays, putting the pucks on the wrong side of the stick, like putting the puck where lefty would be, suppose a righty. Still learning their teammates. I think that's been the biggest difference so far. Is just knowing who you're playing with.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't deny that Rachel Lanes is just a humongous addition to this China team. She's, she probably played 12 of those 20 minutes and played good, hard minutes. She was successful on the penalty kill. They didn't get a chance in the power play. I assume she's on their first power play unit. And then, the team's best forward, obviously.
Oh, yeah, and her goal is a world-class snipe, but there was nothing Nima could do about it. She was there, she was square, and it was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, top corner, near side. She's open on the wing. Nobody's going to stop her there. Murphy bid on a move at the blue line, and Lanes made her pay.
Tell you what, Team China and their passing is very impressive to me. They're very organized, and they play very well together. Their regroup in the neutral zone is really good, and it's part of the reason that the Beauts have had struggles because they get the puck out of the zone, they chip it out. China gets it, regroups right away, and they're right back in the Beauts zone.
The Team China's puck recovery is certainly a big struggle for Buffalo to deal with there in the opening 20 minutes of play. Just having a hard time getting set up and getting good, consistent pressure offensively. No sustained real time in the zone outside of the one Buffalo power play for the Beauts, and we'll see if that changes there. We saw all the coaches going through talking to their players there in the hallway right across from where we're set up. They're getting them all fired up here. For the same goaltenders here to start period number 2. Everything else looks to be about the same. No carryover penalties or power plays. Shots 8-6, Team China officially at the end of 20 minutes. We'll switch sides. Team China in their red and gold uniforms will be skating from left to right here on your broadcast feed in the Buffalo Beauts. They're fire. New powder blue uniforms with black and white trim. Skating from right to left. We're underway here in the second period. Swept into the Team China zone. Buffalo looking for some early pressure. Elias pass looking for Skamura, taken away by Kunichika. Looking back for Skamura, but couldn't quite connect. Stretch pass on the far side, back the other way, looking for Lanes, but swept away here nicely, kicked down by Skamura. Aaliyah tries to drag it back through, just couldn't quite kick it back to her stick. And Buffalo forced to recollect. Skamura pokes it up ahead. Back played at her own blue line there by Ju. And back into the Team China zone. Maddie Wu turning with it. Her pass ahead here is Rachel Lanes. Lanes tries to drag it through. Has that one knocked away. Jostled in the corner there by Edney. They fight for it. Help coming through for both sides. And Edney's back pass around now behind her goal to Jackie Greco. Off the boards, up ahead to Ott. Pass on the far side through the legs of Sibley. Will take center ice and fire it in. Kersey chasing after it. Takes it away. Tried to drag it in front. Sibley shot fired through. Kersey bats it out of midair up over the goal. Ott turning with it into the slot. Ott shot through. Is punched away by Shu.
We're seeing a much more aggressive Beauts team, and it's really paying off for them so far.
Ott back the other way, looking for Kersey, but just out of her reach. And now Kong will turn with it. Her stretch pass the other way, chasing after it there is Fung. In behind the Buffalo goal, one hand on her stick around Casorso. Good job, though, contesting by Casorso. They jostle along the boards in behind the Buffalo goal. Sarah Casorso had it taken away. One more time, scoop to the half wall. Team China looking to set up. That shot fired through traffic and blocked down. Stretch past the blue line and not out. Kept in there by Oliva. Drags it in behind. That one blockered away by Newman. Second chance. A tough angle shot for Kelsey Newman. Able to fight that one off and hold on for a face-off.
And like I was saying in the last pause, this Buffalo team has definitely stepped up and been a lot more aggressive so far in this first period. And Kersey was wide open for a stretch pass. Maybe they're seeing something that they talked about in the intermission, how China's leaving that back end open, and hopefully Buffalo can capitalize on that.
Shots early 2-1 advantage here in the second period for Buffalo as they look to keep the pressure going back the other way. Dragged through by Schroka. Great defensive effort trying to turn it out to offense. Her backhand chance off the side of the goal. Tried to jam it in back door. That one read well. We have a referee's arm up. It looks like he's signaling a holding call. And a great individual effort there by Caitlin Schroka for Buffalo. It's going to put her team back on the power play. It's an interference call.
Just pure grit and determination there. Keeps his feet moving, developing. The Beauts are pretty good in the first power play opportunity. There's a little more puck movement I want to see and some more shots from the point. Get some traffic in front of the goalie here.
We're going to get Jess Jones on the point across from her teammate, former teammate Sarah Edney. So 4 forwards. They're definitely pouring it on here in the second period.
They got Leo again for Team China. That's her second penalty of the evening. The only penalized player here for either side tonight. Buffalo's second power play of the evening. You mentioned Jones being out there. There's another penalty coming, this time unfortunately for Buffalo. As quickly as their power play begins, Kelsey Newman's going to play the puck, and we're going to go to Forest side. Just 15 seconds of time expired on the penalty. Referee signaling a slash, and it is Corin Bowie being escorted to the Buffalo penalty box.
And that's not something you see often, and not that the official was wrong, but Bowie is generally a clean player. You don't see her end up in the box that frequently.
It's a couple of Buffalo players really reaching for that puck there as it got taken in behind the Team China goal. It looked like the official took offense to one of the whacks given there to the Team China defender. So we'll play Forest side here, provided everything stays as it is for the next minute 45. Team China will have the briefest of power plays after that. Jess Jones, full head of steam chasing after it there. Collides with Joe behind the play. Banked ahead. Full head of steam back the other way for Ju. Ju back to the point. Taken down by Wong across. Oliva. Back to Ju. She'll wind and fire. Low shot goes wide glove side of Kelsey Newman. Scoot back the other way looking for Lewicki chasing after it, but 3 Team China defenders all quickly back defensively. Wong. Her pass kicked down the other way by Maddie Wu. Kicks it out of her own reach, though, taken back by Buffalo. Now Sarah Edney turning with it. Good job by Wu not giving up on the play, forcing a hustled pass across to Greco, who has a hard time handling it. And a great play back the other way as Buffalo's able to clear their own zone there by Haley Skimura.
That was a long shift by several players on the ice. Buffalo was good to get a change here.
Kelly's shot fired in short of center ice, and with the 4-on-4, their icing applies. And she'll take that icing call. We'll go back to the Team China defensive zone here. 37 seconds of Forest side play remaining.
See Ilya and Skimura, former Nichols teammates, and hopefully they capitalize on some chemistry here. Sorso and Burns, I like this this tetra. I don't even know what it would be.
It's fine. Burns. What Eric's like to say is he likes this 4 out there for the Beauts right now. Shot comes through from the point. Is fought off there by who? Turning with it. Haley Skimura strong on the puck. Skimura still with it, looking in front for Aaliyah. It's deflected off of Aaliyah, and it's into the net. That's not how you draw it up if you're Buffalo, but they all count the same. And we'll see who they awarded to ultimately. Aaliyah, who got bumped in front of the goal and is laboring on her way back to the Buffalo bench, may have got a piece of it. It was a backhand pass from Haley Skimura, and they'll take it. It's 2-1.
She seems to be favoring her shoulder a bit there.
That's her left shoulder. She's still holding it.
Yeah, she isn't even offering that arm for the fist bump, so I'm sure she's going to end up out in the corridor. Hopefully they'll be able to take care of it. She can get back out here on the ice because that was a great series of plays with she and Haley Skimura.
We talked about familiarity of the China players with each other. And you see that familiarity there between Skimura and Aaliyah really paying off there for Buffalo. Gets them on the scoreboard here just over 4 minutes into our second period. Caleb Parsons stretch pass on the far side to Ott. Team China now with a very brief power play. Already just has 10 seconds in it. Buffalo look to ride it out here in their offensive zone. Caleb Parsons knocks it back into the corner. Bowie already standing here in the penalty box and will now return to action. We're back to 5 aside. 15-17 still to go here in our second period. That Buffalo goal has cut the China lead to 2-1, and Bowie fresh out of the box collides hard with Ju. This top group out for Team China one more time as Wu's pass goes down the length of the ice, being chased after, and icing won there by the effort of Colleen Murphy.
Big collision right here in front of us between Bowie and Wu. You gotta be careful there. They want to wick a sleeping giant. Kareem Bowie's is a flurry of talent and a big body. You didn't want to get her moving out there, your Team China.
Yeah, the last thing you want is an angry Bowie out there.
Face off here to the left of the Team China goal. Lewicki will step in and take one for the first time tonight, but it's won back by Rachel Lanes. If you feel like you've heard Rachel Lanes' name a lot tonight, it's because you have. Quickly back in front, pressure play in front side of the goal, and who fought it off with her left leg. A great effort there. That was Schroka along with Lewicki, who's had some very good minutes here tonight for Buffalo. Scooped off the glass ahead and taken back there the other way by Shurab. Schroka shot through, blocked down. Gets it back in the slot, looking backhand chance in front. Swept away. Shurab just couldn't quite find the handle of a bouncing puck. Lewicki behind the goal. Rated out of the play hard there by Rachel Lanes. One of the more diminutive players on the ice, and you wouldn't be able to tell by how she carries herself physically. That one fired on into the catching glove of Kelsey Newman. Dangerously left there for Casorso, who's fighting off a forecheck, but able to take it away. Tried to drag it back into the slot and got away with that one a little bit. Some great help there getting back one more time by Lewicki. And it's back out here to neutral ice, where it's swept ahead there by who? Lewicki knocks it in. Her line will go off for a change. Leo. Her pass ahead caught in the skates of Casorso. Backhand pass in front, thrown through by Shurab, looking for a Kersey, and they just couldn't quite connect. Jordan Burns, her stretch pass. Back the other way, looking for Sibley, taken in here by a Kersey. A Kersey drags it around in front, made the first move to get herself free, and just couldn't quite find the handle on it. She's been looking for that one all night and just got inches away from tying up this hockey game. They fight forward in behind the goal. Back to the point. Kicked down and kept in by Jordan Burns. Her shot through traffic off the leg in front. And a diving effort from a Kersey, but it was under the glove of who has it for a face-off.
It was not under the glove of who, and I believe that is a quick whistle coming from the officials there. That puck was loose, and a Kersey was smelling blood. And unfortunately, the whistle blew the play dead.
Huge display of hands there by a Kersey. And I think that's just the product of missing the net, the product of just being surprised that the move work got through so quickly. And she was like, what the heck?
Buffalo wins another offensive zone draw here as they look to keep the pressure on, looking reinvigorated here after that first intermission, playing with some passion and aggression, as Eric has mentioned here. Back pass in front, nicely taken away, but looking for Corin Bowie, not quite able to find her there was Jess Jones. Play is offside to the Buffalo blue line. Murphy will go and pick it up here behind the Buffalo goal. Colleen Murphy's pass across here, taken by Parsons. Stress pass ahead, tipped into the China zone by Jess Jones. Rolls onto the goaltender, who, and Buffalo will look to keep the pressure on. Look like they found some life in their skates here. Jones drags it through, looking to fight it back in front for Bowie. Still loose in the crease, and it is in. We'll see who ultimately got the last tip of it. Bowie was there.
It looks
Jones
like they're congratulating Jones. So that's going to be Jess Jones' first goal as a Beaut, possibly. I don't know. Elia's leading the charge to the bench, so
it might be the second, and it's good to see Aaliyah back out there. She went off after the first goal, favoring her shoulder. Some combination of Aaliyah, Jones, and Bowie put the puck into the net.
Now Huh is being helped to the bench. She seems to be favoring her left leg. Maybe a knee injury.
And you never want to see that. Certainly hope that she's okay. Being helped to the bench, and we'll have a goaltending change as a result here for Team China. That is Yuqing Wang, number 24, who is preparing to come in.
You know, I was wondering if that's an injury that happened earlier in the game she's trying to deal with, because she's been slow to that post 2 or 3 times now this period.
I think it might have come out of that first scrum that we mentioned there with a Kersey diving for the puck. And a totally unrelated note, Buffalo's going to change goalies as well. I think they try to do that about midway through the contest of these preseason games. And making her Buffalo debut as a result will be Western New York native Julia DeTondo, number 34. Went to Mercyhurst here in just south of Buffalo in Erie, Pennsylvania, a Buffalo native. Eric, you had mentioned to me after going to the practice on Saturday that she looked very strong in that open skate that the Beauts had.
Yeah, both goaltenders really stood out. A lot of good plays, and it was nice to see. We got Courtney Kunachika speaking with
skating with
the timekeepers table over here. It's maybe a timeout, or I'm not sure really what the conversation would be about.
Well, the timekeeper's holding up his walkie-talkie that communicates up to us here upstairs, and also a hockey puck, and it does not seem to be either of those things that were needed. Regardless of everything. So we have an awkward stop and play here. 12:32 still to go in our second period. I believe Team China has taken their timeout. They're all back at the bench.
Oh, they're going to give them some time to warm up the goalie? Is that what they're asking for?
If my best guess.
Well, they're warming up the Tondo, so it seems only fair.
My best guess is that the starting goalie wants to come back out and play because they replaced him back to the bench, and she just got back on the bench, and the player's looking down the tunnel.
Maybe it's a skate issue, which would seem weird.
Broken skate blade, and that's why she couldn't put any weight on that leg.
Because she hasn't gone back to the tunnel. She's been over there at the foot of the tunnel with a couple members of the staff, and she appears to be moving rather well. And she's coming back out. Yeah, maybe it was a broken skate. So my well wishes for Siyi Hu have been answered. She appears to be perfectly fine, and that's good to see. She's going back to the goal here for Team China. So scratch that goalie change. It was nice to see you, Yuqing Wang, but she is back on the bench. No shots, no goals allowed. A perfect 0.0 goals against average here so far tonight for number 24 in red. The Tondo will stay in. You hear Newman at the end of the bench gesturing, wanting to go back in herself. Carried back ahead now by Lauren Kelly in this tie game with just over 12 minutes to go here. Dangerously played behind her own goal by Tondo, and she's bailed out by Greco. Kunachika on the far side, jostles in that far side corner, surrounded by red uniforms. Kicks it up ahead, though. A nice play by Kunachika. Gets it to the blue line, hops over the stick of Kelly and back to center ice. One more time played down by Sibley, who collides there with Kelly, and Team China will take it back the other way. Kong, head up pass through center ice, finds a streaking teammate. That's Fung. Has it taken away one more time. A nice sound defensive play by Jackie Greco. Out of the reach of Skamura. Keeps the pressure on. Wong turning with it, hounded now by Kunachika, and this Buffalo forecheck that was almost non-existent in points in the first period has really found their legs here. And you wonder if it's just the coaching staff finding the right line combinations here, getting Skamura, Kunachika out there pressuring very aggressively and causing some problems for the Chinese defense. Bank pass the other way, springs off for a 2-on-1. Odd across, drags it in, backhand chance in front is held for a save by Hu. The defender completely sold out to take a Kersey out of the play and let her goaltender take the one-on-one. It looked to be the right decision.
Yeah, and that was a great defensive play. Ott really only had that one option, especially with the pass taken away, and the goaltender read it the entire way. So that good play by both sides.
That was Shinan Zhao for Team China that just completely sold out and faced a Kersey to take her out of the play. Turned the 2-on-1 into a 1-on-0. Lane's in behind the Buffalo goal. Jostled there, leaves it back behind for Wu. Tied up with Lewicki, back to Lane's. Point pass is blocked down nicely by Ott. Buffalo looking for these bank stretch passes just out of the reach of a Kersey, but he's going to beat out the icing. Tied up there with Joe in behind the play. We have another penalty coming up here to Buffalo. A Kersey took it in behind the play, it looks like. And that back pass played ahead there by Murphy.
Yeah, and good 50-50 fight for the puck, but Kersey just gets her arm up and under and takes down the defender. So, you know, not a bad call, not a bad penalty to take, and we'll see Buffalo's penalty kill for their first real test tonight.
So it is officially the second Team China power play. By nature of literal definition, they had a 15-second power play earlier in this period. This will be, as Eric mentioned, their first actual chance with the 5-4 advantage on the ice. Joe, her pass down low to Fung. Down below the goal line. Gets it back, backdoor play, and holding that post strongly there is Tondo, who rolls on for a face-off.
It's a real nice play there by Team China. They want to play catch in the corner there, get the puck down low, and get the ball moving behind the net, and swing it right back up front, and catch him going short side there. Almost had her, just missed the shot.
Officially on the second goal, it's Corrine Bowie. Eric had Jones, and I had Aaliyah, and it was neither of them. Joe. It's preseason for announcers, too.
It is preseason.
Kong. Back to Joe. Kicks it down, gets it back down low. Backhand pass in front. Beautiful look, but it's knocked away in front. Tondo might have got a piece of it. Shot from the point off a couple of legs there. That was Sherb who got most of it. Down below the goal line as we have reached the midway point here of our second period. Jones pass across, dragged through and taken away. Parsons floats that one back out here to neutralize. Sherb chasing after it. And Jones first there for Team China. Back to Kong across to Feng. Air stretch pass on the far side, just out of the reach of Ho. Nice job by Buffalo winning that one away here. See if they can get it out of their own zone. Murphy pivots behind Tondo, floats it and gets it out. Catching just the right spot there of that line chase where Team China catches the one Team China player going back to the bench. And they'll look to set back up here the other way. Here's Wu. In behind the goal. Turns with it back to the point. Leo. Down low, shot fanned on. Wu had a look at it but couldn't quite find the handle. Back up top to Wong. Bank pass out of the reach of Leo. Off the glass and kept in. A nice play there by Kelly. That's Lanes. Lost the handle on it. Tries to fight it through. Swept back the other way. It's a foot race. And just getting a step there on Jess Jones is Leo. And Jones was ever so close to having a clean break here in her first game in Beauts Blue. Kersey's out of the box. Pretty good kill there for the Beauts. We're back to 5 aside. Swept in front of the goal and a good defensive play made there by Corin Bowie. Lips the stick. Lane shot through, patted away by Tondo. Here comes a Kersey. Numbers the other way. It's the old 4-on-3 rush. Kersey looking in front. Beautiful backhand pass, and they score. Knocked in by Sarah Edney joining the rush, and it's 3-2 Buffalo.
And that was just a brilliant play by the four Buffalo players to see that they had the breakout. And I hope the Tondo gets an assist on that because that pad straight out front broke the play wide open. And Edney following up, like you said, first shot gets banked out front, and Edney just buries it behind. Ugh.
Yeah, I was going to say that play made entirely possible by the huge kick save by Tondo down there. Flashed a quick pad, Beauts with it down the other way, and another great display of skill by Kersey.
And I don't know if you guys will believe this, but after going down early in a game, the Buffalo Beauts have fought back to take the lead.
You know,
The comeback queens are on it again.
And you saw shades of that aggressive Beauts penalty kill too, as they led the league in short-handed goals the past 2 seasons, and it took shots there a couple times.
Puck turned over as Team China looks to get that one back. Buffalo has their first lead of the evening. It is 3-2. And they really do, as Eric mentioned in those first couple minutes, and has just continued to grow here as the period has gone on. They have really found their skating legs and playing with some aggression here, and it shows on the scoreboard. They've taken the lead in shots on goal, and now they've taken the lead 3-2.
And Elia's back out on the ice for the first time since she went off holding her shoulder, so that's good news for Buffalo.
Casorso. Her stretch pass looking for Kunishika is intercepted. Knocked back and neutralized and punched back ahead by Oliva. Second crack at it off the shoulder of Maddie Aaliyah, which I'm sure just felt great. And back now on her backhand pass to Skamura. Haley Skamura in the slot fires. That one blocked down. Nice defensive play made there by Oliva to the blue line and now delayed offsides as it's punched back in. And Yuching Wong is in this time for real in goal for Team China. She came on after that third goal. Swept back the other way. Zhou knocks it in behind the goal. Her team goes off for a change. Slowed down by Colleen Murphy. Murphy stretch pass, punched ahead, knocked down, and back the other way. Quickly turned by Team China. Fung's pass across, just out of the reach of its intended target. Was looking across for Kong. And they were just not on the same page. Would have been a great chance there. Probably the best of the period there for Team China. Glove down kept in nicely at the blue line, but the Beauts have the pressure on the point. Let's quickly take it back the other way now. Fung for Team China. Her pass to the point. Ju turning with it. Swept away, back the other way, and not quite able to keep her footing. Shurup tried to bank it around to herself and just couldn't quite find the room to do so. Murphy back one more time to Shurup. All sorts of turnaround here, trying to get herself settled. Plays it back to Murphy. Bangs right in front of the Team China bench. Swept back in. That one deflected dangerously off Parsons in front and almost deflected a clean pass to Tondo, but it slept through the crease wide. To the point, kept in one more time. Team China, this is their best sustained pressure of the period, looking to turn it into a goal. But the Beauts back the other way. Full head of steam here for Lewicki. Lewicki takes it in, tried to drag it through, knocked away. Shurov follows up. That one deflected off some potties in behind the goal. Lewicki one more time. Bad angle shot is fought off Jammed for on the side of the net and held for by Wong for a face-off.
Yeah, Buffalo kind of fell back a little bit there for a couple of minutes, but they jumped right back into it. Their aggression is ramped back up, and that was a nice attack coming from that Lewicki line.
They signed 3 players in the offseason from Adrian College, and out of the 3 of them here tonight, Kristen Lewicki has really impressed me personally, showing great skating out there and really sparking this offense at some much-needed times here in the second period. We'll see how that line works together. You mentioned familiarity, and a lot of these Beauts players not used to playing with each other. Those 3 girls very familiar playing with each other. They did it for 4 years in college. Delayed offsides as Detondo will slow it down and leave it in behind her goal for Jackie Greco. Greco stretched pass to the line, but not out, kept in. Fired back down below the goal line. Team China looking to get their forecheck going. There's the most recent Beauts goal scorer, Sarah Edney. Up to Bowie and dragged back the other way. Aaliyah. She fires. That one blocked in behind the goal. Jones chasing after it. Bang pass back to the point. Edney fires off a leg and in behind the goal one more time. Picked up by Bowie. Corin Bowie. Tied up there to a side. Jones comes in to help her out. Trying to kick it free. Fighting between 2 sticks. And a great job there defensively by Oliva for Team China, allowing her teammates to get it out of the zone. Picked back up by Greco. Tried to fire it back ahead to Jones, but Jones had to wait there on the delayed offsides. We're under 5 minutes to go here in this second period. Kunichika joining the play, takes it away. In front to a Kersey, fires! And a glove save. Wong just got enough of it. It leaked through, but wide a goal. Skamura fires, deflected down. That one hit high on a Kersey, and she couldn't turn around in time to knock it through. Yeah,
there's no doubt that Kersey is trying to make an impression tonight. She's had a great game so far.
Dragged through by Skamura one more time, leaves it. Kunichika fires, pad save by Wong. Skamura in behind, tried to wrap it around. Got jammed back to Kunichika off a leg in front. Throwing everything they can, and just can't quite find the back of the goal. What a great shift here for this line. Still, they keep the pressure on. Here's Jordan. Burns fires through, and that one leaks wide of the crease. Kunichika on the far side. Keeps the pressure on. Across for Burns in front. Couldn't quite get the first shot cleanly. Second one turned away by the right leg of Wong. Pressure here from the Beauts. They have turned it up to another notch here on this shift. Kunichika in front looking back for a Kersey. They couldn't quite connect, but Casorso picks it up, walks it down. Sarah Casorso in front. Looking back for Sroka. They just couldn't quite connect. Burns will get a crack at it. That one's finally kicked down, and finally a desperation fling of the puck back down to the Buffalo end, and some tired Team China players will get a much-needed rest after the best shift of the night by far, I would say, for the Buffalo Beauts, including the 3 they scored on.
Yeah, and I would have to say the best shift by either team so far. That was just really dominant. It controlled play the entire time in the zone.
Zhu back the other way. Leo. Head pass taken away by Ott, and Leo does a good job there shielding off the puck and allowing her teammates to keep going here offensively, at least for a second. Dragged through the other way by Sibley. Sibley looking in front for Sroka and taken back there as that puck hit off the side of the net, and now Rachel Lanes lost the handle on it, and I think that caught Parsons by surprise. Parsons started backtracking looking to get the puck, but Lanes actually hit the stanchion, and that's back pass to the point went unanswered. Ott back behind the Buffalo goal, taken there by Murphy. High glove down by Sroka, and taken back now the other way by Kelly. Turns it in behind the Buffalo goal. Parsons with it. Sibley. One more time, starting with it. Rachel Lanes drags it in front of goal, and a great job there by Sroka getting back and taking it away. Lanes had a beauty of a goal for the second Team China goal of the night, and she was looking for her second. Ott. Back pass across, scooped up ahead. Sroka fights through a check and fires it up ahead into the Team China zone. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Stretch pass the other way to Kong. Turns with it, waiting for her teammates to come off for that change. Had it swept off her stick and taken back the other way by Corin Bowie. Bowie dueling number 23s into the corner there with Fung. And Team China takes it away. Ju. Her pass to the line. Knocked down for a second, but fought ahead by Kong. As far as Edney. Back to Shurab. Shurab turns with it, and she can't find the handle. Swept to the half wall. Lewicki. Around a couple bodies. Beautiful move by Lewicki in front. Feeds Bowie, who fires a bullet off the post. That was right in her wheelhouse. A beautiful pass and a beautiful shot, and they just missed, making this a 2-goal game. Maddie Wu back the other way, 1-on-3, while her teammates go off for a change. Drags it in behind the Buffalo goal, and we're to the final minute of the second period. Buffalo looking for one more rush to be set up here. They've had a great second period and looking to finish it as strong as they've started it. Long stretch pass kicked by Skamura, taken away the other way by Zhu. But Skamura keeps on it, fighting through a check, tried to force a pass with one hand on her stick through, and just couldn't quite get enough on it. China back the other way. Wong's pass, a big collision at the blue line between Jones and Lanes. Now in front of the China bench, just 20 seconds remaining. Buffalo looking back the other way. Burns pass looking to bank ahead to Jones, just out of her reach, swept back to neutral ice. Lane's pass kicked down, loosened the skates of her teammate there. That was who? Another big collision. We have a penalty coming up here. That was Aaliyah, and the referee took exception to that one. We are going to get to the end of the second period with that referee's arm waved. Through 40 minutes now of action, the Buffalo Beauts went into the second period down 2-0, and they have responded strong. Through 40 minutes, they lead by the score of 3-2. Shots unofficially now in favor of Buffalo, 16-12. Eric, you alluded to their aggression there early in the period. What did you see that was different there from Buffalo that really led to that success?
Well, they're really pressing the matter anytime they get the opportunity. They're taking it to them rather than waiting for the play to come back the other way, and it's definitely working. This Chinese team is a very good team, but I don't think they can handle the pressure that Buffalo has to offer, and they're depending on a lot of players to play a lot of minutes. We've heard Xing Feng, her name has been mentioned a lot. She's been out on the ice a lot, as well as Rachel Lanes. In this third period, that might begin to wear on them. So, Buffalo's aggression is really working, and I think it's starting to affect the strategy of the Chinese team.
Justin, you mentioned the passing of Buffalo in the first period not being very crisp. Looked like they weren't used to playing with each other. Here in this period, it looked like they were connecting a lot more. Do you think it was different line combinations, or what did you see that was different that allowed Buffalo's offense to really get on the same page and keep sustained pressure, something they really lacked in the first period?
They looked a little more calm than in the first period. And also the biggest difference, I think, is their playmakers came out to play that period. You see Hades Skamura out there having a period of her life, picking up right back where she left off last season in the Beauts' eventual successful Rough Isabel Cup, where she provided a whole different dynamic and spark to this team's offense. And she's doing it again. She's playing such a high rate of speed out there, and she's able to make plays at that high rate of speed. And I think the biggest difference in that period was the playmakers coming out to play.
Yeah, and we're, like you mentioned, we're seeing a lot of players that we weren't necessarily familiar with. You mentioned Skamura and her former Nichols teammate Ilya. They've been on a line together almost all night long and played very well. But one name that we do know is Jackie Greco, and she's getting the opportunity to play top line minutes, to top pair minutes. Lined up a lot with Sarah Edney. She's had a very good game so far, and I think she is going to challenge for the #1 role with Bozek and Falzer being away for the Olympics. Yeah,
Greco's always a 7th swing defenseman on this team, and she's got the opportunity now to step up and play her game. And when she had the opportunity to fill in last year, she was always played a solid game. But it's just a numbers game with the Beauts last season. But this year, she got time to shine.
And talk about a lot of the top defensemen for Buffalo this year are players who have points, have lined up offensively. Greco played a lot of forward last season. Casorso played some forward last season. And now you might miss that shot from Bozek on the power play, but now you've got 2 point players who are basically forwards out there, or at least are comfortable playing offensively, which kind of adds another element to this team as far as what you can do offensively. You've got players who are so comfortable joining the rush as those 2 are. Yeah,
there's no replacing a player like Megan Bozek, but, there's definitely the opportunity for Buffalo to just find a different approach to things. And, it's showed on their power play so far. They've really been able to control the zone when they had the extra attacker out there.
Zambonis are out on the ice here through 40 minutes of play. Buffalo 3, Team China 2. We're going to take a quick breather. Be back here with you, recapping the second period of action, more third period action here on Cross Ice Pass. Back with you here at Arbor Center, just a couple of minutes away from the start of our third period of action here in the NWHL preseason opener here in downtown Buffalo, New York. The Buffalo Beauts lead Team China through 40 minutes of play by the score of 3-2. A tale of two periods truly for the Beauts. They had their struggles in the first, but here really looked like they came out with some fresh life there in the second period, and it really shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of a shakeup of the lines, and it seems to have worked out really well. At the end of the second, we spoke of Jackie Greco getting some time with Sarah Edney. I think that's a pairing that we're going to see a lot of this season. And, the forward lines are kind of still settling out, but we've seen really great flashes from players that seem to be connecting with each other. Just fantastic 2 periods into a season, or preseason even at that. So, and this Chinese team is no slouch. It's very good hockey. We're lucky to be coming back to such an exciting game so early in the preseason.
You can see a lot of talent up and down the Chinese lineup, and these are ladies who are traveling the world, playing together, and really getting the best type of, I guess, on-the-job training you could possibly ask for as they prepare themselves for international competition. The penalty taken at the end of the period, we mentioned that one on Buffalo. It's on Natty Aaliyah. She'll be sitting for 2 or less. It was interference or roughing. Take your pick.
It was a body-checking penalty.
Body checking.
Yes, and it definitely was a body check. A solid check from Aaliyah, unfortunately.
She got her money's worth.
Yeah, unfortunately not legal here in women's hockey.
So we have 20 more minutes of regulation action ahead of you. I know better than to say 20 more minutes of action and when there's a Beauts game. I've learned my lesson very thoroughly the last couple
this could very
seasons.
easily be 6-6.
So Team China will start with their second full power play here. They are 0 for 2 on the evening officially, but one of them was 15 seconds. They never had the puck.
And, of course, we'll see Lanes and Fung out here now. Definitely China's power pair as it is so far.
Waiting for the near side door with the Zamboni to be closed. I'm glad that the linesman with the puck noticed that before he dropped it, because that would have been really awkward.
Yeah, I think there's an issue with the door being a little out of alignment. I don't know if the Zamboni bumped it on the way out, but it looked to be hanging funny in between periods, and now there must be a break in the boards where the puck could come off on an odd way, affecting play.
I was downstairs grabbing some pizza between periods, and I heard a loud, bad word and lots of drilling afterwards. So definitely a door issue.
That is Justin Eric bringing you his "while I was getting pizza" quote of the game.
Well, while we're on a break here, I might go get myself a slice of pizza. It kind of smelled pretty good.
Yeah, it's really killing me up here. For those of us who, I think all 3 of us came straight from work to be here with you this evening. I'm Jeff Boyd, that's Eric Walschlager to my left, and Justin Eric and his piece of pizza down to Eric's left. Excited to be back here with you, and thanking the NWHL for having us back here for another season. Could not be more excited to be able to bring you these Beauts games. It is a true pleasure to be part
Full
of
of pep and pepperoni.
Sometimes more one than the other. Looks like we're just about ready to get back underway. They're kind of explaining and you can see the referee kind of giving the angle of the boards that you will be dealing with to coaches Mooney and Sealing there at the Buffalo bench.
Yeah, Justin mentioned the aggressive penalty kill for Buffalo. We've got Bowie, Jones, Greco, and Edney, and if this is an offensive set of penalty killers if I've ever seen one. 2
of the 3 Buffalo goal scorers on the ice as we begin play in the third period. There is Rachel Lanes. Drags it up ahead. Team China now still on that power play here to start the third period. Knocked down by Wong. Her shot blocked. Good aggressive pressure of the point by Corinne Bowie, and she and Wong jostle to the wall. Bowie back pass over to Jess Jones, who will scoop it down to neutral ice. Bowie goes off for an early change. Jones will stay out in forecheck. As that pass through neutral ice eludes everyone, they're going to wave the icing off. Not sure with that hitter, they ruled that the Buffalo player got a piece of it. Regardless, Team China now back in neutral ice, picking up the puck one more time. Rachel Lanes away from Soroka. Pass ahead is knocked down and taken back the other way by Leo. Out of the reach of Lanes, taken by Edney. Back pass knocked down by Lanes. One more whack at it. Edney to the point, but not out. Oliva turning with it in the slot. Her pass across is fired high over the crossbar. Out of the reach of Detondo. Grabbed and fired back down the ice there by Soroka. Wong out of her goal. Plays it up ahead. Taken there by Wu through neutral ice. Thung. Turning away from the forecheck. Back to Kong here at the near side point. That shot deflected off a body in front of goal, taken by Jordan Burns and knocked back to the point, but not out. Still 20 seconds of power play time here remaining for China. Ju couldn't get all of the shot, taken back and fired back to neutral ice there, as Buffalo looks to wind out these last 10 seconds down a skater. Aaliyah's been standing in the box the entire time and will not start sitting now. She's back to the ice, and we're back to 5 aside. A good penalty kill again here for Buffalo. Come through the test here that they've faced so far down a skater. But still, China keeps that pressure on. That puck deflects high onto the half wall here directly in front of us. Ju. She walks the line, turns and fires into the catching glove of Detondo, who holds on for a face-off.
Yeah, Detondo's been largely untested tonight, and that was a really good save by her. It came through some traffic. She's still able to see the puck, and which could have caught the top corner if she hadn't been paying attention.
It's hard to see some of those shots, especially when you mentioned not being tested a lot here so far in the 10-plus minutes that she's seen. Sometimes coming into a game cold and not seeing a lot of action, kind of detrimental. But she was able to see that shot through a lot of bodies. Buffalo back the other way. Jones pass across, scooped ahead, knocked down by Kunachika. Back to Jones. She'll fire that shot through loose in front for a second. Wong didn't catch it clean, but she's able to cover up there with Skamura on the doorstep for a face-off.
Yeah, she was able to get to that puck just a half second before the charging Courtney Kunachika, and that would have been bad for China.
It's another new combination the Buffalo's trying out here in the third period. Kunachika out there with Jones and Skamura, a combination of some players that have looked pretty good. Skamura had a very good second period, as Justin mentioned, and she's been very strong on the puck. There she is again, getting that puck around to Jones. That pass just a little too strong for Parsons, who's able to hold it down now behind the goal for Kunachika. Skamura backhand chance from a tough angle, trying to catch Wong leaning, but Wong fights it off. Pops high in the air, kept in one more time by Jones. In behind the goal, pitchfork ahead, and Jones is over there again, walks her way through. Jess Jones down low to Kunachika. Her shot blocked away on the side of goal. All 5 Chinese players down below the face-off dots, but they're able to win it back the other way. Zhu's pass taken away by Jackie Greco. One more time now. Jackie Greco skates it ahead. Leaves it for Accursi. Back looking for Greco. Great sliding defensive play. Made in front of her own goal by Wu. Accursi has just been working so hard trying to get that goal. She's been close a couple times, and she is there again. They're on that 2-on-1 as the Bucks fire another play. Just looking, you can tell that she wants to impress the coaches here.
Yeah, and she's had a great game. She and Jackie Greco working that 2-on-1 very well and almost connecting, but as you said, a great defensive play laying down and stealing that pass on Wu.
Taylor Accursi, another Mercyhurst product on this team from Ancaster, Ontario. Back the other way, followed ahead there by Ju. And back in, kept in the China zone there by Lewicki. Lewicki turns away from the first check, but couldn't keep her handle on the puck. Around far side, Maddie Wu's pass ahead just out of the reach of everyone. Knocked down, neutralized by Jackie Greco. Backhand pass looking for Stroka there was Lewicki. They can't quite connect. It pops back out here to center ice. Enni bumps it back in, down below the Team China goal. Soroka loses the handle on it, and back the other way now. Team China. Just 4.5 minutes into our third period, still 3-2 Buffalo. Winding and firing a bullet up over the crossbar is Rachel Lanes. That one hard off the glass, back out here all the way down to the Team China end. Back the other way, one touch pass there by Wong, leaves it back for Fung. Fung's shot blocked into the corner by Kasor, so ricochets off the end wall. Fung going around a stickless Maddie Aaliyah. Back to the point. Zhou, shot through traffic, deflected, goes just wide. Casorso's pass up ahead to Bowie. Bowie had a pass looking the other way for Jones. And the pass just out of her reach, and the official had to jump over it, which probably didn't help the proceedings. China back the other way. Stretch pass fought for and won by Murphy. Across to Burns, now to Bowie. Bowie through center ice, looking for Aaliyah, lost in her skates, plays it back to Murphy. Murphy full head of steam, and she winds and fires. Shot patted away by Wong.
After some early miscues, Murphy has really had a good second half of the game.
Good stretch pass the other way for Kong. In on Detondo. Backhand chance. Save made. And held on for a face-off by Detondo.
We spoke of Buffalo looking for that stretch pass, and it really, China, great heads-up play to break. I'm sorry, was it Wu that broke through? And got a nice shot on Detondo, who was able to stay with her.
Well, the Beauts got caught with Murphy going to the bench for a new stick there, and they got lost in transition with the new defenseman, so that's where the opportunity came from for the break pass.
Good heads-up play.
China wins that offensive zone face-off shot blocked from Kelly at the point. Nice play by Kersey. Tried to backhand pass it, bank it ahead to herself. Held at the point by Kelly on the first step, but second one comes out here to neutralize, where it's batted ahead by Wen. Wen pokes it around to Kersey, only as far though as Jackie Greco. Across to Edney, back to Greco here on this first pair that we talked about there in that second intermission. Getting a lot of big minutes here tonight, looking pretty good here so far. Jing's shot from traffic is held on, and Detondo's not going to risk anything there. She'll hold on for another face-off here with 13:54 still to go here in this third period. Shots 18-15 still in favor of Buffalo, on the strength of those 3 second period goals. Face off here to the right of the Buffalo goal, tied up one back by Lanes. Zhu, her shot through, blocked down there by Greco. Banked ahead, knocked down. Up the other way, Schroka to Sibley. Sibley works it in, looking back for Schroka in front. Couldn't quite knock it to her forehand to create that scoring chance in front. Back pass in front, looking for Casorzo's intercepted. Back the other way by Wong. Beautiful stretch pass the other way. Springs their teammate, fired in, and a great save on Wu again. And Julia Detondo, who was not very much tested there in the second period, coming through so far in the first 7 minutes of this third with flying colors.
Yeah, Buffalo's aggression maybe starting to bite back a little bit. They're getting caught flat-footed in the offensive zone, and China's really been able to take advantage of it and get the breakaway through. Detondo's been great so far, but that's something Buffalo doesn't want to get in the habit of doing. They really want to get that under control.
Great on-the-fly adjustments by the Chinese coaching staff, really starting to use those stretch passes and catch the Buffalo defenders joining the rush. Led to a couple of good chances here in this period, but Detondo's been able to keep this game 3-2 in favor of the home Buffalo Beauts. That shot high over the glass, kept in one more time by China. Corin Bowie for Buffalo. Back pass ahead taken by Lewicki with a beautiful move at center ice to get around the first defender. And a good job there by Fung getting back. Pretty good outing by Lewicki, who started playing tonight on the third line and has really earned herself some big minutes as this game has gone on. Fired around in behind the Team China goal. They'll pick it up while Buffalo goes off for a change. A Kersey. Great back-checking play, wins it around. That one knocked into neutralized and is played up ahead there by Zhu. Offsides is the call, while the face-off forthcoming.
Kind of a surprising no call here at the blue line with a Kersey. I thought she was held up a little bit. Neither player had possession of the puck. Maybe could have gone the Buffalo's way there, but
face-off one in front of their own bench by Buffalo, but Kunichika fires it aggressively past Parsons all the way down below their own goal. Here's a Kersey turning with it. High off the glass. That one is over everyone and back to neutral ice. We have a referee's arm up, and I believe Buffalo's going to go back to the power play. That is Ray Zhu for China, who is sitting down in the box. So Buffalo's power play's had a couple cracks tonight. They're 0 for 2.
And Kersey's earned herself a spot on the #1 power play line. That's great for her.
Well, you mentioned the no call a couple minutes ago. She earned that one as well. That was
indeed.
Kersey's aggression. And there she is out there up front with Lewicki and Bowie. Jones at 1 point, back with Edney. Edney turning with it. Leaves it back behind for Lewicki. Nice aggressive forecheck here for the Chinese penalty kill, giving Buffalo some problems in their own end. Bowie will leave it for Edney. Turning with it one more time in behind her goal. 30 seconds already gone as she leaves it here for Jess Jones. Jones ahead to Bowie. Bowie with a full head of steam. Back the other way, Corin Bowie. On her backhand in behind the goal, letting her teammates set up back to Edney. Great diving effort to keep it into the point. Across to Jones, And the second time, though, out of the reach of Edney, back to neutral ice. These are some of the kinks that you see, that you have these preseason games really to work out. Teammates not used to working these situations together, getting a chance to kind of learn on the fly. Nice move in neutral ice by Kersey. On her second try to drag through, turns it over. It's scooped back into the Buffalo zone by Wong. She'll go off for a change, and now under 50 seconds remain here on this Buffalo power play. Edney one more time in behind her goal as the second unit for Buffalo comes out. Here's Haley Skamura. Full head of steam into the China zone. Turning with it. On that far side, half wall down low to Kunachika. Kunachika back to the point. Colleen Murphy thought about the pass across, turns back with it to Kunachika and gets it back. She'll fire that pass through. Skamura trying to turn with it in front and couldn't quite find the handle on it. Knocked off her stick by Ju. Ju surrounded by blue uniforms. It's taken back by Skamura. 12 seconds on the power play. Murphy shot through traffic. Blocked into the corner there nicely by Leo. They collide. Another collision as Kunachika takes it away. Down to Aaliyah. Try to jam it in front. Aaliyah bank pass to the point to Murphy as Ju rejoins the play. Aaliyah back to Murphy. They switch spots. Murphy down low. Kunachika's pass across, looking back for Aaliyah. They just couldn't quite connect. Casorsa fires it down below that goal line. Kunachika turning with it. Couldn't quite find the handle, and Team China looks to finally get out of the zone. Fought for by Casorso. She's still keeping it in, and it must have popped down over the line. We have an offside score.
The official was the unfortunate victim of a double body check there, and he seems no worse for the wear. But
it's one of those occupational hazards you get when you put on the stripes.
When you're part of the ice, as it were.
Face off here in front of the China penalty bench in neutral ice, won by Team China. Rachel Lanes knocked away by Kersey and taken back now the other way up ahead by Wong. Leaves it back for Lanes. She collides hard with Kersey. Taylor Kersey has been bumped about every time she's been on the ice here in this third period. Kept in by Zhou at the point. She fires through. Kicked in front into the slot and swept away there by Ott. Good awareness by Ott. Back behind for Greco. Up ahead to Sibley. Sibley's backhand pass ahead is intercepted. Taken back the other way by Zhou. She walks around the first Buffalo player, colliding hard with Jackie Greco. Sibley in behind the play, following up, takes it up ahead here for Buffalo. Here, bank pass ahead for Ott to the line, but not out. Kept in there nicely. That's Oliva on that side. Buffalo still pinned back here, under 9 to go here in the third. Sarah Edney turns with it, splits the D. Sibley back to Edney joining the rush. Here comes Sarah Edney the other way. Back pass in front for Ott. Ott fires, and a pant save by Wong. We've talked at points tonight about the Buffalo defense not afraid of joining the rush, and you see it again there. Sarah Edney already with a goal, jumping into another play. Near side, Ott back to Burns at the point. On her backhand, floats it back into the corner. Lewicki chasing after it. Taken away there by Ju. That one deflected off the stick of Soroka up into the Chinese bench for a face-off.
It actually went over the glass. It's a nice souvenir for a fan who offered to send it back, but got no acceptance of her offer.
Really wanted to give that souvenir back. Was far too generous, and the referee responded by letting them keep that official Buffalo Beauts game puck. The first of many we'll see at this Harbor Center here this season as the Buffalo Beauts begin their 2017-2018 season here tonight with some preseason action. Lewicki back the other way for Buffalo, kicks it to her stick. Nice help there following up that play by Shurab. Back to Lewicki. Lewicki backhand down to Shurab. Casorso jumping down. Casorso fires. Pad save was loose for a second with Soroka on the back door, but it's held ultimately by Wong.
A nice good low shot by Casorso, hoping to get a little bit of a rebound there. And it was there for a second, but unfortunately Wong jumped on it and took it away. Shurab was knocking at her door.
Faceoff will stay down here in the Team China zone with 7:49 remaining here in our third period. Faceoff tied up, one back by Team China. Buffalo aggressively after it. Jones out there with Skamura and Kersey. Another new combination there is coaches Mooney and Sealing continue to juggle their lines, try to find those perfect combinations. I'm sure throughout this and the next preseason game, we'll see all different sorts of permutations here for the players in blue. Jones back to the point. Knocked down by Parsons. Parsons down to Skamura. Try to sweep that one in front, but it's taken away there nicely by Leo. The center ice, deflected ahead and taken back by Skamura. Parsons to Jones. Knocked off her stick. Kersey turning with it, trying to find some open ice. Beautiful power move by Kersey. She gets her leg swept out from under her. She has just been knocked left and right in this period. Penalty coming up here to Team China. Parsons fires through traffic, deflected by Kersey. And a great, quick left pad save made by Wong. 6 skaters out for Buffalo on this delay penalty. Parsons shot blocked to the half wall. Kept in on the pressure there. Murphy. Switching spots down low with Bowie. That one thrown through the crease, looking for Kersey out of her reach. Parsons still with it. That one off a stick. Possession still not kept, and they're going to give it to them there. And Odd, who was about to walk in for a clean shot, was none too happy about it as the referee's whistle blows with 6:34 remaining here in the third period.
China definitely touched up, but I wouldn't call that a change of possession, and Ott had that chance stolen from her, not by the goaltender, but by the official.
It is Leo for the third time tonight for Team China who is penalized. Buffalo's 4th power play of the evening. With 6:34 remaining here, we'll see if they can crack through here. Had some struggles there on the last one. Couldn't really keep possession in the zone. Here's a good chance right out the gate for Jordan. Burns fires through, and a save by Wong covers up with no rebound.
You mentioned in the last power play it was a little bit ineffective. Had to struggle getting out of their defensive zone. That was 4 forwards and a defenseman, and sometimes you have to wonder if that's part of the reason that they were having trouble in the transition there.
Yuching Wong has come in here for Team China this past midway in the second period and has looked very strong in goal, has not allowed anything. All 3 goals came off the starting goaltender, Si Hu. Cleared out by Team China all the way down to Tondo. Left behind her goal for Jordan Burns. Up ahead, taken by Sibley. Her pass loose and neutralized, scooped up by Ott. Up ahead to Sibley, scoops it into the zone. In behind the goal. Knocked around far side by Ju. Knocked down at first by Shura, but couldn't keep it in. Now back all the way to the Buffalo end. Odd in behind her own goal. Leaves it there. One more time for Sibley. Sibley's pass deflected. Burns forced to turn back. Burns stretch pass up ahead to Shurib. Swept away from her. Kept in, though, at the line by Schroka. Leaves it back for Sibley. Sibley has out there with her. Sibley turning with it, and it's quickly back the other way. It's a 2-on-2 here, shorthanded for Team China. Beautiful floating pass across. A beautiful saucer pass there by Maddie Wu, just out of the reach of its intended target there. She had Kong in the back door to Tondo. Ultimately will cover up for a face-off.
And again, we're seeing this Chinese team that's very, very used to playing with each other and almost broke one wide open there. We talked about Buffalo's shorthanded prowess, and obviously China has the same attack-first mentality when they're on the penalty kill.
Face-off here to the left of Tondo and goal. Making her Buffalo debut here tonight in the preseason. Here's a 2-on-1 back the other way. Kersey has Bowie with her. Bowie shot, fires and scores! Fighting through a back check all the way and fires a laser beam under the crossbar. It's 4-2.
We talked about the sniping abilities of Lanes, and that's Corinne Bowie right there. Buries it in the top corner of the net. Like you said, fighting through a solid check. I'm sure that defenseman thought that she had Bowie the entire way, and she's still somehow able to put a strong shot over the blocker and put Buffalo up top by 2.
Bowie skating back to the center ice face-off with an ear-to-ear smile on her face. Her second of the night has given the Beauts a 2-goal lead here with just over 5 minutes remaining here in this third period. Murphy back across to Parsons, and that's worth noting as well, a power play goal for the Beauts. Their first of the evening. Fung back the other way. She'll fire through. That one swept away by Tondo in behind the goal. Wong. Pressured back. Kept in there by Zhu. Her shot fired and blocked down by Corinne Bowie, but kept in here. Trying to keep the pressure on. Good job there by Bowie blocking that backdoor pass to Lanes, but there's Lanes' backhand chance trying to pick the corner. And just up over the crossbar in behind Tondo. Liu. She'll fire through. That one blocked down in front. Couldn't tell if that hit Lanes or Murphy in front, but it comes into the corner. Pressure still on there. Ju pad save made. Loose on side of the goal there, picked up by Lewicki. The wiki across. Here's Corin Bowie one more time. Takes center ice. At the end of a long shift, he'll turn and dump it in. Go off for a change. In behind the Team China goal. Set up there by Ju. Ju off the glass. To center ice. Knocked ahead though by Casorso. Buffalo with numbers if they can get set up. Casorso tried to fire it across to Scamura, but couldn't quite get around Ju. Casorso, though, hounding that puck, knocks it back down low. Maddie Aaliyah chasing after it. Down below the goal line, jostled for Aaliyah. Sibley spinning with it. Lost her stick, had it knocked out of her hands. Referee says play on. Casorso at the point, winds and fires. And that one gloved down by Melanie Ju. Not sure if she closed her glove on it. The referee says no. That could not have felt good, as we have an icing call coming up here against Team China with 3:18 remaining in the third.
So Elia's going to take her second trip to the penalty box. Gets called for cross-checking, and she's not sure when it happened. I'm not sure when it happened.
I didn't see it. I mean, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. That just means I didn't see it. Justin, did you see it?
No.
Okay, none of us saw it. Excellent. So Team China will go to their power play here. Down 2 with 3:18 remaining. Faceoff comes up here to the right of Detondo. One back by Lanes. Wu. Wong. Fires through, deflected, and a tough right pad save there. Made by Detondo. That one got deflected by Lanes on its way through. Leo back up high. Back in front, Lanes backhand chance in front. Another tough pad save, and a good follow-up there defensively by Jackie Greco. Lanes one more time, back up high to Wong. Wong back to Lanes here on the half wall. Fires that one through, blocked into the corner by Greco, but kept in. Good start to this power play here for China. Wong walks the line, deflected in front, knocked into the air, and floated wide of goal. Wong back to Lanes. Rachel Lanes fires through that one off the leg of Edney into the corner. Leo down low. Knocks it behind the goal to Ju. Ju leaves it for Wu. Wu back up high to Wong. Wong. Leo. Back to Wong. She'll wind and fire. Blocked down by Bowie. Back to Wong. One more time. Blocked ahead by Bowie. Still 50 seconds on this power play. We'll keep our eye on the Chinese netminder as well. Lanes down low. Gets it back. Fired in front. Save Detondo. Rebound save Detondo. One more. Got that one too. It's on the side of the net. Punched away by Greco in behind the goal. Puck stayed live. It did not settle there on the side of the net. Wong at the point. Down low. Lanes healed it. Far side. In behind the goal. Ju comes in behind. Off the side of the goal. Detondo has found it and will cover and give her team a much-needed breather and give herself a chance to reset here with 1:41 remaining in the third.
Yeah, those four players played over a minute and a half of really tough penalty kill minutes, but Detondo looked very strong, and Buffalo did a very good job of just keeping their composure through that whole thing. A lot of pressure from China, but unable to punch through.
Face off here to the right of the Buffalo goal. Final 21 seconds and counting of this Team China power play. Lanes down to Kong. In below the goal line, that's Fung. Looking back for Kong, nicely played on the back door. That's Colleen Murphy having a great night defensively, who takes that puck away and fires at the length of the ice. And that will effectively kill the penalty to Aaliyah, who is standing in the box. And she has rejoined action. We're back to 5 aside with just over a minute remaining here in our third regulation period. Maddie Aaliyah back the other way, walks it into the zone. Patience. Waits it out, walks into the slot. Aaliyah fires, and she wanted that one. That one blocked into the netting there by Aaliyah. And you could tell that she wanted to make up for that penalty she was called for.
Yeah, she wants to find the back of the net here tonight.
So faceoff will stay down here in the Team China end with 62 seconds remaining on our third period clock.
Overall, a really strong, promising game from both squads, and it's been a lot of fun. This is a really exciting first game back for us to announce.
You can tell Buffalo came out there looking like a bunch of teammates who hadn't really played together, but throughout the course of the game, they've really seemed to have gelled here as a team, and that's what you would really hope if you're Craig Mooney and Rick Sealing here, the coaches of the Buffalo Beauts. You want to see your team really get some chemistry going here, and it's been a good test of that here in the preseason. Final 40 seconds of action as Skimura in behind her own goal here for Buffalo. Scoops it up ahead the other way. Haley Skimura. There's one good move. Had it taken away. Play is offsides. Batted ahead there by Wong, but she had trapped a couple of her teammates in past the blue line. And we'll come back after neutralize. 31.8 to go.
And like you mentioned, Buffalo came out a little bit shy, but in the second period really started to put on the aggression. And, of course, when the goals come, the confidence comes. And they have shown no sign of slowing down as China's going to pull their goaltender for the extra attacker. And I believe we have a timeout now, too.
And they're officially going to take their timeout here. Apparently they were granted some sort of equipment break when that one in the second period was kind of granted, kind of not granted. So final 31.8 seconds here of our third period. Buffalo just seconds away now from opening their 2017-2018 preseason with a big victory here on home ice. They'll be back next Monday as they look to continue that strong effort there. They'll play the Buffalo Junior Sabres. A little bit of a interesting cross-promotional matchup here for teams that call the Harbor Center home. These teams tangled last season in what was an amazingly physical contest, given that it's between a junior team and the Buffalo Beauts.
Yeah, and last year, I think Buffalo being untested going into that game was caught a little bit off guard, but obviously they've had a really tough game here tonight, and I think they'll be better prepared to face Junior Sabres.
So we've had now about 25 minutes to rate Julia DeTondo. Have you guys seen anything here in her first effort in goal for Buffalo that's really stood out to you?
Well, she stole the third period. And China could usually have 3-4 goals this period, but she's made some huge saves, got the Beauts in this game.
Final 18 seconds of action. The empty Chinese net is protected there by Liu, who's passed ahead. Fired to the blue line into the zone. Chasing after it, Kunachika. Rides it into the wall, kind of content to kill a couple seconds. They'll get one last crack at it here. Set up, deflected pass in front. Lanes winds it, fires. That one blocked down by Jones. Lanes one more time, fires into the equipment of Jordan Burns. Shaking her left hand there. That one stung as the final horn has sounded. And the Buffalo Beauts respond to a slow start with a strong final 40 minutes to the tune of a 4-2 victory here on home ice to open their preseason.
This was a really fun game, especially these last 40 minutes. Nothing but excitement for this upcoming Beauts season. They really look already like they're prepared to defend the crown.
A lot of good things to take away there. Final shots actually favored Team China. Justin, you mentioned there in the closing how DeTondo stole part of that third period there. Team China outshoots the Beauts badly there in the final 10 especially, but able to hold their end. Like we talked about the two-headed goaltending monster last year with Brianne McLaughlin and Amanda Levier, and here tonight it's the other two goaltenders on the Beauts roster this season who really stood out at points here tonight.
Yeah, Levier was a scratch, so that's definitely going to change the dynamic of the team when she is able to join us again. But that was incredible showing by DeTondo, who was the only of the four goaltenders to pitch a shutout.
Both goalies played really well. Newman was the only one that's beaten twice, but I mean she played equally as well. I mean I give DeTondo the slight edge here. She showed very well in her first NWHL action, but it'll be interesting to see who makes the opening day roster.
Yeah.
The Chinese national team takes center ice and bows to both sides of the crowd, giving the Chinese national team a standing ovation. A very good showing. The scoreboard may not have come out in their favor as the Beauts salute the fans as well here at center ice, as is their tradition. Always happier to do so in a victory formation.
I like it that much more.
A good showing in those fresh new uniforms for Buffalo. Who stood out for you guys, if anyone? We talked about the goaltending there a little bit there in closing. Were there any skaters, defenders? I know we mentioned a couple names throughout the course of the game. Just kind of your 3 stars, if you guys want to break it up there, even like that.
So I would have to definitely say DeTondo is my first star. I think Kersey, I think she ended up with 2 points, 2 assists on the night. She'll be my second star, and then Bowie with the 2 goals will be the first star for me.
Justin, you deviate from that?
I don't disagree with Eric, but I want to honorable mention of Maddie Ilya, who I think will have a monster season in this league. I think you can't replace Kelly Stedman, but I think that's the closest you're going to get to replacing Kelly Stedman. She's got a shot. She can rip it with a quick release. She's got hands for days. It'll be fun to watch her this season.
In those final 40 minutes, they really look like they started gelling as a team, and you see something that was a struggle at points for this coaching staff last season was juggling multiple lines, creating offensive pressure. But here tonight, it just looked like no matter who they had out on the ice, I don't know if it was just me, but it looked like all 3 of their lines were just really pressing the play, and all 3 lines were just on the doorstep time after time, pressuring it offensively.
And that's something that coaches have talked about. They really struggle with depth, and they had to overplay some players in the past, and I think they're most excited about having the offensive advantage this year. And like you said, the depth, and everybody is a great scorer.
I think in the past the Beauts have had more rope-a-dope teams, and this year they have a very fast attacking team, it looks like. And I think you'll see a much different Beauts team and a much more, it wasn't exciting, but a very exciting, high-scoring, fast-paced team this season.
We talked about it a little bit just off the air earlier. This team just won the championship, and they look arguably better in most facets of the game, which should scare the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean, New York made a couple of key acquisitions, and Boston took some very good players from both New York and Connecticut, so obviously they're going to contend again. They've got Brittany Ott on their side, and she's just, the league's best goaltender for 2 years running, but this Buffalo team is different than any that these other teams have faced before, and I think it gives them an edge at this point without having seen any of the other ones.
As we approach now under a month away from regular season NWHL action.
You can hear the smiles in our voices, kids.
We'll be back. We're very excited to be starting that here early November, traveling to Rochester for the Beauts' first official home game there against the New York Riveters. We'll be back here with you as well next Monday. Buffalo Beauts preseason action returns here to Harbor Center as they host the Buffalo Junior Sabres. For Eric Walschlager and Justin Ehrig, my name is Jeff Boyd. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I hope you have a great night.